Greetings. I left off yesterday with the attacks. I'd like to fill you in on some positive things, though, before I start for today. I've lost 8 pounds, so me being a free grazing house hippo is coming down to a point now. I got after it today and really worked hard on my petite legs and prodigious girth. So I can't wait to keep on this path and journey. I loved the heft, the grit, the challenge of being put in a situation where I know I'm going to fail and fail miserably, and having to will myself out of it. Now I have an ice bath to take that is going to be a lot of fun, and I look forward to it. The next 4 days are going to be very interesting because I'm out of my routine. The routine gave me a lot of structure and focus on what I like to do, not a lot of wiggle room. So now being able to freestyle, I have to be able to imbibe myself with my own structure, my own wills, and break out the new camera and see what I can do with it. So that would be part A of this. So the other part will be back to the attacks. So I left off at Chris Calisano being in his room and listening to him sob and listening to his mother and sister in complete agony, watching the attacks because the buildings hadn't fallen yet, and knowing what was going on, and the screams and the shouts and disbelief was all too much. And while we were viewing this, because we were all stuck in the living room watching, the first building fell. We didn't realize there was another plane trying to get to the Pentagon. And when the other building fell, we all just lost it. And then we witnessed the second building fall. And the panic. And that began a journey for myself where part of my PTSD is a sense of helplessness. Because in your right mind, I know I couldn't have done anything about it. Like I've told several people, I would have to be 3 Supermen on 3 different planes at the 3 different separate times to take out 3 different sets of terrorists, and then be able to land those planes safely and soundly while defeating the terrorists in order for this not to happen. That doesn't happen. But the sense of helplessness that I was ingrained with was what started my PTSD. Watching, because in my mind, when you're in basic training, when I was in sports and everything else like that, team was the thing. You were part of a team, and being part of a team, you can do things that were much greater as an individual than you could as an individual. And that belief carried over naturally into the military, from basketball, football, anything I played. Any sport that I played, the team was the thing. Being the star of the team in high school, I still couldn't do everything. Didn't matter. I needed teammates to make this thing go. And so you get into becoming a soldier. You're taught that the team is everything. The team is life. The team is life or death. And you can do everything as a team. You can accomplish goals that are so fantastic, no one would ever imagine and people will never know about. And you start to believe it because you start to realize it. All the weeks of basic training, you go from jokers barely even being able to run a mile to people running 3 miles in combat boots, people not being able to do 10 push-ups to be able to do 50 push-ups at a lick. You start watching how this team grows and how the spirit grows, the esprit de corps, the spirit of the group, and you really drill down into, oh my God, I'm a soldier, I'm a defender, because it's drilled into you repeatedly. You run toward the sound of screaming, you run toward the sound of gunfire. Those types of things are drilled into you over and over again until you can't. And that's where problems started to set in for myself. I'm watching the greatest act of human tragedy in U.S. history unfold in front of my very eyes, on U.S. soil. And no one can do anything about it. I couldn't do anything about it. No matter how much we wanted to, we couldn't do anything about it. And that kills me even to this day. I know, and this is how trauma works. You know damn well you can't do anything about it. But this experience that you had is so great, you still feel compelled. And I had it broken down to me in a series of examples that I didn't want to believe. But what's heard through the lens of someone else's suffering. It was a young girl who went to pick up her brother. Brother got in the car. They were going to home. They were very, very close to home, and she was going through a stop sign, and a drunk driver plowed through and hit the passenger side where her brother was, killing him instantly. She woke up in the hospital, very upset, found out what happened, and blamed herself. Now, the highway patrolman came in and said, because she blamed herself that he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. And the highway patrolman said, you don't understand the way the impact was and everything else like that. He's like, with the seatbelt or not, he would have died. She still blamed herself. Blamed herself, blamed herself, blamed herself. I understood that. Another example was Vietnam veteran getting off of a helicopter, being attacked by VC, and he shoots a woman with his gun, M16, drops her. It was an accident, but in the heat of battle, things happen. Murder, all these other things in hindsight is always going to be 20/20. He did not mean to do that, but accidents happen. He doesn't see it that way. That's trauma. No matter how much you explain this to this man, that these things are the reality that you faced, he could not separate the act from himself. And he can't make a logical step. That's where I suffer. And that's what was so heartbreaking, because as we're watching Calisano suffer, as we're watching all these people in New York suffer, as we're watching all of the world lose its sense of innocence in real time, we can't do anything. All the communication towers were out. They couldn't get a hold of Chris's dad. Chris was flipping out. We had to go to the base, left him behind. came into the base, got briefed, got released back, and finally, thank God, his father was able to contact his mother. The mother was able to contact Chris and tell him that the father was alive, but people in his office did not get out alive. And that was heavy. That was very heavy. And little did I know what was going to come next. Now, from all of this, I get to look at things differently now. It is extremely difficult for me to talk about this, not impossible. I stand in front of you or sit in front of you and broadcast this out to tell you all that there is meaning in suffering. If you can assign meaning to your suffering, it no longer becomes suffering. It becomes something that you can absolutely understand and thrive from and get through. I hate what happened. I hate it so much. I hated what I saw. I hated what my friend experienced. I hated what I saw from the people up there, the heaviness of sorrows. I don't have a chance to do it again. But I would experience it again. Because as much as it's broken me, it has made me stronger. And it's put me in front of this camera in this real time to tell you all that there's something else out there besides the darkness. Hope comes in many forms. You just have to be cognizant enough to know when it comes. Seize on it, turn it into something that you need it to be, and use it to go forward. Let that light shine so brightly that others cannot help but gravitate to it. Others in need can gravitate to it. Others in need of an example can gravitate to it. It's difficult. It's hard, but it's not impossible. I'm a living testament of that. The hardest part is, it's not 100%. That is the one thing I try to convey over and over again. This thing that plagues me comes and it goes, but as surely as it comes, it goes. So there's a period in between there where it's not there. While I'm in this darkness, I have to accept the fact that it's going to claim me, try to break me down, try to immobilize me. It'll do everything it can to stop me. And sometimes it's successful. But I don't quit. I wanted to. I wanted to end it all. Because the confusion, the anger, the hatred, the rage spirals out of control. And you go down and down and down. And that negative feedback loop becomes louder and louder and louder. You have to break the loop. I can always say I should have been stronger, I should have done this, I should have done that. No. This is what happened. Sometimes I win the fight, sometimes I don't. But as long as I'm still battling, that's what matters. I'll continue on with what happened next, probably tomorrow. I had a wonderful workout. Now I go face my nemesis in this freezing cold water. I'm looking forward to a great day today. I did more reps, heavier weight on my legs, and I didn't snap my back in two, so I'm super excited about that. Hail Cobra. Um, I'm excited about this journey. I'm excited to share this journey with you. I'm excited because as much as I want to run away from it, as much as I want to run from the sounds of my own screams, I'm forcing myself to run toward it. And when I'm running toward it, I'm bringing everything I can with it. So maybe, just maybe, somebody out there can see this is a way, this is hope, this is what you look for, this is success, this is the journey forward. It's not pretty, but it's beautiful. Because that's what life is. No one promised me an easy path, and I would not want one. Because what has ended up happening is this path has led me to this point. Everything I've done and everything I've experienced has led me up into this point. I can't change it. I can't go back. I can't go through that portal, that time warp of the past and take the knowledge that I have and go back. I don't want to. As a selfish young man, sure, I would have done it in a heartbeat. But now, no. It doesn't have the emphasis. It doesn't have the meaning. The suffering has a meaning to me. And that meaning is so great that it's produced hope in my heart, light in my life, a connection with other human beings in nature that I never thought I could ever have. And I share it with others because somebody tells me to. That's what I'm supposed to do. So I do it. I enjoyed this today, and I look forward to speaking with you tomorrow. As always, be the reason someone smiles today, and have a beautiful day. Love you guys. Take care.